Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. It's Wednesday, which means it's the Conqueror League in Titan Esports. I'm Lamb, that's Crims. Crims, we got a semi-final. We're one step away from that all-important final. And what teams and what organizations we have in front of us that are setting up in this best of five tonight?
Well, I think we all know Taylor Swift is going to be on the field today because it's none other than emotional damage. Lamb, let's just talk about emotional damage first. This is a team that won that invitational, and they were looking like they were going to be the favorites to win the series. They made it to the semifinals here. They did have some stumbles along the way, but they are finally here. And their challenger for today is Rubber Ducky Gaming,
Oh, yeah.
who 3-0'd Hotspot Gaming Crimson the other week. Well, emotional damage, energy are riding that 3-2 to sneak right into the semifinals here. And this is exactly what we expected. These top four teams to be making it here. And this is an exciting match.
It is, and of course, the winner here will meet either Elysium Blaze or Dorado Gaming Epsilon. I mean, we kind of looked at the teams coming into the playoffs here, Crimson. Any surprises that we have the teams that are remaining here for the semifinals?
I think this is I think this is what everyone was expecting. I think this is the top four, pretty much exactly. Rubber Ducky Gaming, Dorado, Elysium Blaze, Emotional Damage, Energy. This is exactly the top four. Everything is going as planned according to my script.
According to your script, okay. I wonder what else that script says. It could spell again an upset. We always come into these. I mean, it's pretty damn close. So, of course, EDE, Emotional Damage Energy, were second seed in Group B, and of course, Rubber Ducky Gaming undefeated all season, seed one in Group A. So this is a Titanic clash, and you know what? I'm ready for it, man. I'm ready for it. EDE, they went close against Elysium Fritz, though. Like you said, they already came out on top 3-2 in that best of five. And now, already playing a best of five, they might be already prepared for things to come. So, once again, we'll need to see if they can withstand the duration of the best of five. Because best of five is a lot taxing, right? If one game goes too far in that pendulum, too far to one side, then it could spell difficult things to actually bounce back in that. So, you got to come into this strong mental, reset. This is a brand new series. It's basically your final, right? You win every single one, and then eventually you get to the real final. That's the trick, Crims. That's the trick.
Is that a trick or is that just
That's just
I'm
that's
just
just Lamb
all right?
Incorporated.
That's the lamb's trick right
Yeah,
there.
Lamb
Okay,
strats.
words of wisdom coming out from Lamb here. I think we should start to delve into the players. I think that's going to be very important. So we
Tell me
already
about the
mentioned
players.
Taylor Swift,
Oh yeah,
of course. I mean, look, every time emotional damage energy is in a game, we got to talk about Taylor Swift. Whether you're rooting for or against, you know that you have to either manage Taylor Swift somehow or you're hoping Taylor Swift's going to carry a game. That's how game bending this player is. Masterful on the Zeri. Absolutely masterclass on these scaling backline champions. And time again, have won a game through this bot lane. So it's up to Vesper and Ordaro to rise and meet that challenge because they're either going to have to surpass Taylor Swift today or at least they have to shut down the T Swift.
absolutely. And accompanying Taylor Swift in that bowling is Soren. That's another individual that we've spoken about many a time. I mean, we've seen them EDE as recently as a couple of weeks ago, and thoroughly impressed the way that they dictated the rest of course that comeback and everything coming through Taylor Swift. Again, we need to keep our eyes on that. But talk to me about their opposition today. Rubber Ducky Gaming, seed one, in Group A, undefeated all season. They have some big names across their roster as well here.
I think Espresso is has been an excellent jungler all season and in other leagues as well. Has done such a good job setting up the team, getting ahead early. I think that's the star player over on the side of Rubber Ducky Gaming here. I mean, they have so many teams. So I was gonna try to figure out which Rubber Ducky Gaming it was, but it's just gonna be Rubber Ducky Gaming here. A, B, it's just the normal one. So Espresso, absolute monster. Pink Honda, doing such a great job as well. Or sorry, Red Honda. They have
Red
two
and pink.
Hondas.
Yeah,
You
we're
know, they have
close.
two Hondas. They like to confuse us here. So they have Red Honda and they have Espresso. That's a really good mid jungle duo. And Dogman and Michaud are gonna have to step up and rise in that sense. I mean, Dogman does good on the scaling, but Espresso Red Honda, they might just take over through the mid game, and they're gonna need a response on their end.
Our response is something that we'll see time and time again throughout this series. It's going to be close, honestly. We've got so much hype building for RDG against EDE, and we're just getting ready to go into draft here. And now, what are you expecting here, Crims? Like, priority takes, I mean, we could guess it all day long. It doesn't really matter what we say. The trend has been all over the place. What do you think for either of these organizations? What champions are you looking towards? First of all, to take away, and then to prioritize in the draft.
All right, first, straight away, if Yumi is going to be pick or banned, I think 100%. So either it's going to be taken from the side of Rubber Ducky Gaming, or it's going to be immediately snapped up for Soren ads for Taylor Swift. I mean, Taylor Swift plus Yumi, such a tried and true combo. No way you could go wrong with that one. So pick or ban. Otherwise, they're going to need to figure out a counter, and then it's going to be Soren ads on the Yumi. So I think that's going to be 100% the prio. And then maybe something like Zeri, Twitch, Jinx. We're going to see multiple times champions like this in either hand. Because if you pick the Jinx, if you pick the Zeri, then the Twitch comes out as the counter. And I think we're just going to see these champions a lot.
And of course, another big talking point is always that mid lane. Variety champions coming out on that. Veigar comes to mind for Dogman. Ari is another one. These control mages kind of taking a little bit of a backpedaling. These hyper scaling champions coming to the Rift. Again, Azir still in the kit, and you can still get some really nice plays off with that champion as well. So now we're in the draft, ladies and gentlemen. This your evening entertainment. We're already starting the bans here. So Udyr, Zaya been taken away. No surprise on the AD carry there, Crims. This AD carry is extremely safe and can get through the game relatively unscathed. So taking that away limits the RDG bot lane. Aurelion Sol going to be taken away as well. And that champion, I mean, it's still broken, but there's ways to deal with it. So they're going to take it away.
Yeah, the Zai is just so good against a lot of the jungler pool as well. So J4 being taken away, one of those champions I think Zai is simultaneously good and bad against here. As she can't get out of the Cataclysm, but she can definitely dodge a lot of the damage. And we'll see if Wukong will find his way into this draft now that Zai's been taken out. And it's on Rubber Ducky Gaming to get a really good blind pick, and Espresso's Kindred taken out. Varus, very strong in lane. So it looks like the strategy from Rubber Ducky Gaming here is going to be they're going to beat Taylor Swift in lane. Vesper or Dario will have some kind of strategy with the Varus. They can go Karma. And that's going to be a really strong, really solid early laning phase bot lane combo that you really can't just pick Yumi Zeri into and expect things to be happening bot side.
Oh, we'll see if EDE respond that way. Looks like they're going to take Vi here. Not a bad pick into the Varus. Immobile champion, of course, can lock it down. And Seraphine is going to be locked in there as well. So,
good flex
Senna
pick
on the horizon. Potentially, we're going to see that fasting Senna coming out from Taylor Swift in this one.
They could really stall this out. Seraphine's a flex pick. Dogman does play it, as well as Sornad. So they're going to be able to hold off on this, and they can choose whatever they want. Nautilus really makes a Seraphine sketch in that bot lane, because she's going to be really easy to lock down, plus the Varus on top of that. Lamb, I can imagine you thinking that that's going to be a nightmare scenario.
It would be, yeah. How did you know? I mean, he reads minds as best as anybody, Crims. And again, of course, that amount of lockdown that comes with that duo, and there's that Wukong that you're actually making reference to. It's going to be Jinx actually locked in for Taylor Swift. A little bit worrying signs. Played this champion before, got off on it successfully, and very unmatched once it's ahead. But let's go back to the RDG bot lane. This dual synergy, will it be the Seraphine that goes into that? Because once you get level 6 on either of these champions, somebody is dying.
Yeah, I think it's unfortunate that the Lissandra has been banned from emotional damage energy, because I think Lissandra plus the Jinx is really good into this Wukong Nautilus here, because if they try to engage, you can lock them down and provide protection for Jinx and again get the counter kill here. They didn't want to, I guess they didn't want to pick it R4 because then that reveals the Seraphine flex. But I think it would have been such a good champion for Dogman here, as they're rounding the last seconds, and they are going to be flexing Seraphine into the mid lane. I think that makes sense that the Nautilus is just so good into the Seraphine, and Taric is a Nautilus counter. I think they're going to have some issues in lane phase because, let's just be real, the burst damage from Varus in lane phase is so good. So Taric, Jinx, they're going to get bursted down lane phase. But once the team fights start rolling around, this is going to be a very safe Jinx, and they're going to be able to output a lot of free damage.
Well, I thought it was interesting. Obviously, Rubber Ducky Gaming called the bluff. Syndra actually going to be locked in instead of the Victor, leaving that one up. But RDG obviously realized that that Seraphine is not going to go with the support. If so, they're going to dare them to do that. And of course, EDE are not going to agree with that being left open. They take up the Taric. So Jinx Taric bot lane. Going to be proved pretty hard, like you said, to actually get onto the Jinx. Wukong is a method of doing that. And of course, Nautilus can potentially take a one-way trip in order to get the depth charge off. But there's so much else that you can ask for. I mean, Seraphine with Encore, and the last remaining pick is going to be the Olaf. So there's an answer to the CC to stop them getting onto the Jinx, and they take that in the form of the top laner. Flame's going to get the Olaf.
Yeah, this Olaf pick is going to be able to run down the Seraphine and Jinx. That is, if the Cosmic Radiance does not come down in time. So this is going to be a lot about execution, a lot of skill, getting the good setup. Because if Olaf gets that way in, this Jinx and Seraphine are going to be absolutely in trouble. The Malphite is good against the Syndra Varus. It's not going to be good into the Olaf, of course, because of the Ragnarok. Won't win the lane. Definitely will be taking losses in the early phases. And they're just going to be using it as a counter engage on the Syndra Varus with the Seraphine bounce, by the way, Lamb. So emotional damage energy, they definitely pack a punch.
They do, and the ultimates can negate the DPS that comes in on the back of the team fight. You won't want to see Varus getting in range, especially of the Malphite, but Malph's job is very simple in this one. Hit a carry, and then hope for the best that Olaf can get cut down before he actually makes it on top of the Jinx. But again, there's so many micro decisions to be made. These teams are very highly regarded, right? They're high-seeded teams coming into this. They're in the semi-finals at Conqueror. So they must have a relatively rough idea. They're not going to coin flip this, Crims. Let's get that right. Either of these teams don't really coin flip for the state of the Summoner's Rift. They go in with a premeditated plan, and they're going to try and get that off. But where do you see it happening for RDG in this one? You can see the composition now. Where are they going to play through? Because the Olaf has to be enticing to actually get out that lane and leave the Malphite up there pretty much helpless. If you can get damage items on the Olaf, then it makes it more that enticing to try and kill this Jinx as quick as you can.
Yeah, the Olaf just needs to get safe to level 6. And then Vi and Malphite are not really good answers into this champion here. So just make sure for Rubber Ducky Gaming, Olaf's going to have a nice laning phase. And then Flame's going to be that monster that we expect an Olaf to be in that mid game. Just extremely strong, unstoppable. And that's what they're really looking for. Of course, they also want to play through the bot side. They could play through any lane, to be honest, because the Syndra is going to have the stun set up for the Wukong. So they can get that. Bot lane, of course, plenty of angles for the Varus and the Nautilus to get an engage, plus the Wukong for more damage. So they're probably going to be winning early to mid game. And emotional damage energy, they're going to have to stem a lot of bleeding, because I imagine it's going to be rough in this early game. They've pretty much picked a really heavy scaling comp. They're going to rely on Rubber Ducky Gaming making mistakes. Now, that could always happen, but it's really going to be on Rubber Ducky Gaming's execution here. If they don't mess up, I think they just take this one.
Well, and messing up is not part of the repertoire of RDG. Undefeated all season, continuing that trend into the playoffs here as well. But I'm going to ask you the same question for the side of EDE. You already mentioned their hyperscaling side. You definitely have that ability to take over the game very quickly with the Jinx. It's basically funnel the Jinx composition when you look at it. I mean, the Vi can still be a threat to try and get onto someone, displace them with that cease and desist, is point and click. Pretty much like Malphite, he can get that on an AoE. Basically to try and disrupt the fight as best he can as well. But keeping tabs on the Wukong going to prove a little bit difficult unless you can actually see him on the map, and you have to put respect on that, because otherwise Espresso He has the ability to take over the game as well, but I want to go back to the initial point. How does EDE pull this one off? Do they funnel that Jinx, or do they play the laning states pretty evenly to try and make it into that mid to late game?
This is a 1 damage comp, Lamb. So when you're saying playing,
Well, Tarek
how
doesn't
do
do
they play
damage.
through? They have to play through Taylor Swift. This is like a Taylor Swift carry us please comp. There's really no one else with a solid source of damage. Surfing can do a little bit, but is also just half utility as well. So Jinx is the sole damage. If Taylor Swift dies, I mean, there's nothing the comp does. Completely useless. The whole point is to use Vi, Jinx, lock down target, get a kill. Use the Seraphine ultimate to buy time and or get like an AoE CC to win the team fight. Tarek's going to protect Jinx. Malphite's for the engage on the team. So in terms of how the team fight operates, it's just Taylor Swift or bust.
And that's not a bad basket to have all your eggs in, right? Time and time again, this AD carry has become a notorious staple in the Conqueror League this season in Titan Esports and right across the leagues. Everybody's got to be, everybody does know who Taylor Swift is, but in this case it's an AD carry. Come on. No anti-hero on this one. I mean, the Crims promised that he would sing Blank Space if Taylor Swift gets to the final. You need to stay tuned for that one. Yeah, you already signed up for it.
Was it Blank Space? I don't think someone needs to get a clip. I need video evidence.
We'll give you the benefit of the doubt that you can pick whatever Taylor Swift song you want.
Okay, but wait, is it if they get to the final or they win? Maybe we made it a little too easy.
if they yeah, we're kind of backing out on that one right now. But I already have a hunch. Who's your prediction to take game 1 of the best of 5 here?
The best of 5? I don't think that's a good question to ask. Let's wait for 2 games at least. I need some more information.
Nope.
But game 1, I think Rubber Ducky Gaming is going to take game 1.
Okay, Rubber Ducky, you know it's a handshake on the desk. I need to go with emotional damage energy, just because somebody has to be right and somebody has to be wrong, and the majority of the time Crims is correct, albeit that I'm on a hot streak right now, so I can't let that one go. Speaking of not letting go, guys, I don't even know if the clip competition is still going, but if you find any of your favorite plays in this game, get it clipped. Whoever gets the most views at the end of the season will get a prize directly from Sems himself, the very man. And of course, once the predictions are up, if they haven't been up, get your prediction in. But we're going to cut to a small break, and when we come back, it's game 1 of the semi-final. Conqueror in Titan Esports, Rubber Ducky Gaming, emotional damage energy, right after this. semi-final time. Titan Esports, make some noise for your semi-finalists, Rubber Ducky Gaming, Emotional Damage Energy, and remember, the winner of this will meet either Elysium Blaze or Dorado Gaming Epsilon. Many organizations that have come and just put their stamp on this league so far, Crims, right? Across the regular season, we've seen such interesting movement in the standings, just like this. Look at this invade coming through here from Rubber Ducky Gaming. Trying to catch somebody out. They might on the double back. Let's see if they can make that happen.
Pally. Okay.
Oh, they didn't
Oh, they
show,
still
but
don't know.
Pally did. Rooted up by Nautilus. Hook, line, and sinker. First blood over to the Nautilus.
Okay. Well, I mean, level 1 first blood, not that bad for support to take it. It is a bit unfortunate that it is the Nautilus. However, the Nautilus can get a little bit tankier, and that makes the lane phase easier. Get those engages, easier to win. Don't have to worry about your support dying as much. Importantly, though, the Ignite has been burned, and Pally saved his flash. So, the punishment only goes this far here, Lamb.
A little bit of information goes down there as well for the side of Rubber Ducky Gaming. Couldn't get much better of a start than this. Espresso manages to get that red buff. Now he's on the Krugs. Looks like we're going for similar clears on my show as well. Again, another individual that we've repeatedly mentioned throughout his time in Conqueror, and probably looking to get back up to the same form carrying into this one. And this is really a clash of the styles here. Hyper aggressive junglers. Wukong wants to kill you. Vi certainly in the same boat here, Krim. So keeping tabs on both of these guys is going to be super interesting. And if you're not, you're going to get caught out pretty damn quickly.
Alright, level 2 hit first by Taylor Swift and Sornads. Up on the top side, Flame taking it to Pally. That's to be expected. Malphite does not win that. Not even close early game. Olaf's so strong in that regard. As the ball lane themselves hit level 2, and it is a boost buy from Dario. They should be able to get the push, and those roams up mid could be deadly. So we'll see if they are able to pull that off, as Michaud pathing towards bot lane. As always, they have Taylor Swift in mind at all points in the game, and it's showing right here. Now, the wave is not in a good spot for a gank. However, this is going to mean Taylor Swift's going to be pretty comfortable picking up CS at this point.
Oh, actually he's the anchor there as well, but of course Sornads stuns up the Nautilus. Good trade back from Taylor Swift. This Jinx is going to be so key to this team in order to actually try and win this game. Like Crim's already mentioned, like anybody could actually notice that Jinx is that big DPS threat, is the sole damage that's going to come out from EDE here as well. So taking the cleanse, pretty smart, but I mean, there's so many ways to actually root up that Jinx and make sure that she actually falls.
Oh, they know.
Yeah, Ordaro is getting the Oracle out onto Sornads as well. Likes to trade over with the other support. But again, Vi is here.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit of baiting going on, but I feel like that wave is not going to push in time. So Michaud waiting in the wings in case anything happens.
Michaud just biding time for a gank. Can they make it happen? Taylor Swift half mana could be an issue in an all-out, as the top comes first from Espresso, and that is going to be a flash burned right away. And now Michaud is thinking, all right, looks like this is not going to happen. Need to start clearing.
Now that the Olaf has got the flash out of the Malphite, assisted by Espresso, that might be a repeat gank attempt for the Wukong in the jungle. And we have a substantial gold lead. You can see this early on in the game. That's because, Crims, Rubber Ducky Gaming, everybody got in on that kill, on that first blood. So everybody's sitting with that assist. Gold means that they're sitting pretty comfortably right now, about 900, 800 gold lead already. Not even 5 minutes into the game. So Rubber Ducky Gaming cementing that early game, which is important. And Flame on this Olaf actually picks up the call, so he's just looking to accelerate himself eventually, try and keep up with the scaling if he potentially can, which the Olaf should be able to. And Michaud looks like clearing out some wards up there to make sure that Pally doesn't get that repeat gank attempt. But as you take a look at the minimap, Wukong's on the bot side of the map right now.
Flame is such a core part of Rubber Ducky Gaming's comp here. So any mistake he makes is going to very much affect their win outcomes. Extremely detrimental if Flame gets ganked by Michaud here. So the wave pushing in, and this is a significant CS lead here, Lamb. As this wave gets picked up, it's going to be about, what, 10 more CS? So going to be about 10 CS lead for Flame already, as things should be. A little more assistance from Espresso, and they might garner themselves a good lead for this Olaf to run over this game.
Well, we do have that dragon up right now, and as it stands, emotional damage energy, they got that push in the bot lane,
This
but
is a gank.
take a look at the south side of the map right now. Ordaro accompanied by Espresso, potentially looking for a pick, and it's red right there. So Rubber Ducky Gaming, they don't get anything for that, but they do get the pressure, and they relieve some of it for the Varus and Knowledge just to continually push that lane back. Speaking of continuing anything, we will see Pally take this fight against Flame. He's got to go fast to get out with that one. Undertow connects. He does get the ghost out of the Olaf. So going forward, an important summoner down. Still was a flash though.
Very importantly, Pally does not have TP here, Lamb. So this CS lead is going to just be growing for Flame, self-earned as well. Oh, Pally's going to stay. This gives an opportunity with that Ragnarok for the kill. We'll see if Flame can pull it off. Certainly worth it for the suicide.
Oh, Chompers go out to zone them out for a second. Stand up his Knowledge. Flash, assault. Oh, Vault Breaker. Masho actually gets that. Taylor Swift cancels it all. Loses sight of Nautilus, but kill secured. One back for the opposing jungler there. Espresso flushed out with the Dazzle. Proc right there. Soranad's Elcore. Too late from Dogman. He's got to hightail it out of there. Didn't really win that one. 2-for-1 in favor of Upper Ducky Gaming so far. Gets a flash out with the mid laner as well. Dogman will retreat to that mid lane. And Jinx will manage to get this back off. So Taylor Swift doesn't fall.
They are not level 6 yet on the side of emotional damage energy. That's where their comp really needs to activate. There's a lot of single target CC on Rubber Ducky Gaming. So that pre-6 fight is massively in their favor. And I think it's just emotional damage energy not understanding that they don't need to go for that fight there. They really need to buy their time and scale. Pally, he's out of mana. Flame, he's threatening something here. As, I mean, if a tank is out of mana, not much they can do.
He can pick this up and drop him here. Crims Pally goes down in the solo kill for Flame. The Olaf gets a kill on the board.
All right, Taylor Swift gonna digest a huge wave, but now Flame is going to start becoming a problem here because already Pally cannot do anything to thwart the aggressive plays from this Olaf. They do get the first push back into this dragon here. The reset timings do allow emotional damage energy, so I guess they paid the price for this dragon. They're going to take it. However, that gold difference is actually the win condition here for Rubber Ducky Gaming Lamb. They just need to be ahead in gold. They don't really need the dragons. That's more of emotional damage energies thing. And so far, both teams are trading win conditions. However, Rubber Ducky Gaming, they activate first. And if they get theirs online, there's no way emotional damage energy can come back in the game. So we got to keep an eye on this gold lead win.
Well, RDG are looking to up that gold lead. They are going to secure the Rift Herald there, and that's going to be picked up by Espresso.
Yeah, Pally's out of the game. He can't do anything. The wave's pushing away, and Flame is significantly stronger. He needs jungle assistance, or he's just going to completely bleed a CS difference up here.
They realize how desperate Pally is to try and get some experience, some gold. It's going to be interrupted there. Espresso gets the Cyclone out. This is just to push Pally out of lane again. He cannot play the game. Very unfortunate circumstances for Dwayne Johnson up there. Not very much he can't work out without any repercussions. And in this case, he's looking like a former self. We're looking at WWE up there. And right now, Flame's looking like Stone Cold Olaf Austin. He's pushing on way back. They're collecting paychecks up there too. Varus might be under threat. Masho gets staggered blow, gets the dredge line back into him, roots him off, changes the corruption go down. Masho just gets killed. 2v1 overextends without the ball lane, and Varus picks up his second kill of the game.
Yeah, Dogman was also roaming down and had to give up a wave. Just the timing wasn't there. The wave wasn't pushed in. Masho was just waiting for that opportunity, but gets caught out. And that burst damage I was talking about? Oh, wait a minute. Here we go.
Pally, good flash. Oh, if he times out the Ragnarok here, enticing for Pally.
The shield?
Oh, baby, it's the rock bottom. He bounces back and drops the Olaf.
Okay, Flame overextends. Doesn't burn the unstoppable force from Malphite. And I mean that is huge. Oh,
Oh,
wait a
good
minute. Red
night,
Honda?
Dogman.
Yeah, Dogman
Right,
is
Honda.
okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. These lanes are playing aggressively. Rubber Ducky Gaming should be playing aggressively. That is the name of the game here. And they're pushing their advantages. They may have given up a few, but besides that one death from Flame, let's look at the gold lead. Let's look at how much of an advantage Rubber Ducky Gaming have. And this is a significant gold lead. Pre 15 minutes, this would be a big deal. So the fact that it's already here at 11 is huge. I mean, 1,000 gold up in the top lane. In the mid lane is roughly 800, and the bot lane 700. So there's just gold leads all around on the side of Rubber Ducky Gaming. And right now they're well on their way to just shutting down emotional damage energy before they can even get the comp online.
Well, the one saving grace is Pally manages to get that kill back on the Olaf, so he pulls that gold deficit between the top laners to just about 1,000 gold. The Malphite still getting forced off of that turret. I was about to say, Crims, at least they didn't get first blood on the turret, but it looks like Flame is going to secure that right here, right now. Yes, he does. Espresso waiting in the wings, baits out Sorin as a target in trouble here. Cosmic Radiance not even going to come down on time. Death Charge actually lands onto Taylor Swift. But the Jinx will be nice and safe. Can't say the same for the counterpart in the support role. They're going to re-engage back onto Espresso now. Didn't even use the Warrior Trickster. He's going to use it to go forward now. Nimbus Strike into the Cyclone, forcing Dogman into the blue side of the jungle. Espresso picks that one up. Action back on my show. Has to use a flash. Otherwise, could be another statistic in this game. Rubber Ducky Gaming extend that goal lead to 6,000.
Yeah, they're running away with the game right now. And they're exactly what I predicted is happening here. The Tark not taking enough. The Cosmic Radiance isn't coming down in time. The burst damage from Vesper and or Dario is just too good right now. Not to mention Red Honda is doing excellent in this mid lane. And Flame just in expectation leading in the top side. Little side bonus is Espresso 3-0 and 2. And Wukong's going to be massive in engaging on the backline. He could sneak right back there. And with Flame, they could prove a very, very death threats to Taylor Swift in any team fight. So it's serious. Rubber Ducky Gaming. It looks like they secured game number 1. It's going to be in their hands to close it out.
I love the optimism, Crims. I love it. But you could be right, my friend. I mean, 12.5 on that Divine Thunder. I think it was even less than that. I think it was about 12 minutes into the game. Espresso completes that mythic. So Wukong potentially coming close to one-shot and potential this early on in the game. I mean, either way, you can't really peel the Wukong off Taylor Swift once he gets onto her. So again, we'll see if they want to try and contest this dragon. I very much doubt it. RDG, they actually bring down Flame as well to make sure that this dragon is going to equal out.
All right, they're stalling their win condition. They just have so much control everywhere on the map. I don't know if they're going to be able to pick up another objective. They have to do their best to trade. And so far, not a bad idea. Taylor Swift up on the top side. There's still some plates to be taken. I don't think they're going to get any, but that's what they got to do.
Well, you see them invading onto the red side now, trying to track my show. Espresso will find the jungler of EDE. Interrupts the Vault Breaker, I believe, as well. And Red Honda accompanies that, just kills the jungler of EDE once again. I mean, they're running the map right now, Crimson. It's so hard to stop them.
This 6k gold lead is, it's getting out of control here. And they're just finding my show time and time again. This Rift Herald coming up pretty soon. I mean, they don't have to take it if they want, but it's free real estate. Why not? Red Honda, half health Taylor Swift in one combo. Next one is going to be death again from this just amazing Syndra start, 2-0 and 4. It's, I mean, there's not much to talk about anymore here, Len. I think this one's, we can just wrap this up with a bow.
Wrap off with a bow. I mean, that's so romantic. If anybody didn't already know, Crims is a very romantic guy. Very romantic. She's a lucky lady. Pally eating another axe. He's going to walk back to the safety of that turret. In fact, he's going to get the back off second herald of the game. No surprise, he's going to go over to Rubber Ducky Gaming, and they're just trying to snowball this out of control so that EDE, they've not really got strength in this game at all. They're huddled around that mid lane, but this is surely gonna fall. Red Honda tanks that turret shot to make sure that Shelly's going to go off regardless, whether it was intentional or not, yet to be seen. But Pally, Flame doesn't want to dive that after the last time not cementing the kill. Flash still available on Pally, but for how long? Espresso comes across, crushing blow. Okay, Espresso actually doesn't kill the Malphite. Maybe it was a mercy play. Let's the Malphite live for now.
Espresso did not have the Cyclone, so I think it was just either Pally uses his ult to get out, or he just dies. Chooses to not die. Reasonable choice. And there we go. Makes it out.
Choices are few and far between, dude.
Yeah, for EDE, yeah. There's not many choices they have left. They are just getting choked out now. It's looking like no contest as well. This is what, 8k gold lead? It's pretty much right at that point. I mean, they can't expect to win any team fights. They don't win duels individually. And outside of a massive mistake from Rubber Ducky, this is a done deal. So I think we're just gonna have to just sit back, relax, watch Rubber Ducky take over the show here, and just watch a beautiful. By the way, this is just excellent for Rubber Ducky Gaming. I think for people coming into this game, this is going to curb your expectations for the rest of the series, because they're showing that they are very much a threat on the spot side with
right
the
now.
Vars.
Pally is in trouble
There
again. Espresso takes a long way for a shortcut, then gets a flash out with the Malphite. No ultimate available for him right now. Ragnarok activated, and Ola Flame gets it again. That synergy between the jungle and the top laner is relentless right now.
Yeah, Pally goes down again. Not much you can do there. Has to skip out on a lot of things. Chooses to die for farm instead. And I'm just waiting for that 20-minute mark, and I think you know why, Lamp.
Yep. Unfortunately for you, Crims, no FFing in these games. Absolutely not.
Are they not allowed at all?
I don't know.
I think you are. It's just that no one does.
Is it that bad right now? Is it that bad? We'll see.
It's that bad.
Oh, Scar the Weak. That's a Terracol may go down as well. Encore lands on the Syndra. Hold up. She's the assist on Red Honda. Drops some unstoppable force in the Malphite. Oh, baby. The EDE from the previous season is back, baby. Taylor Swift rockets. Give her a damn kill. Shut down over the AD carry.
Oh, God. I had to curse them. I had to do it. Rubber Ducky Gaming give up a team fight that they had no business losing. Unfortunately for them, Flame wasn't even there. And just getting caught out by that encore from Dogman. He's really, really good at getting amazing encores. And that was a showcase right there. And with Pally on the engage, it is really good into Red Honda and Vesper. So the comp does work once you get through the laning phase. Is this enough of a comeback, though? They're going to need at least 2 more of those, at least, to get back in this game.
Let me direct my co-caster's eyes to a certain Taylor Swift right now. 1-0-4. But look at this yes right now. Phenomenal. Even behind the curve, Taylor Swift still farming up like a monster. We'll see if that can continue. And yet again, if EDE are to try and cement this victory some way or another, this Jinx has to be the forefront of that. Gonna see in trouble again. Pally, feel like he absorbs a lot of pressure in this game. Unleashed power goes down as well. He uses that to perfection. He's still burning. He's still walking. He's still talking, baby. Not even close.
Not even close, baby. As we have ourselves 30 seconds away from this Baron. I imagine Rubber Ducky Gaming are gonna swarm all over it like a pack of locusts here. As once they get that, that's gonna be their ticket that they punch into game number 1 here. Now, if they do fall in the mid lane again, that's gonna make it dicey.
Swift peels it back. Or Darrow actually tanking the turret as well.
Oh,
Cyclone goes down. Sorenad still lives. Espresso. Look at it. Crits coming through from Tete. Oh, Vesper turns it around. Piercing arrow to the face. Oh, take that as well. Drops Sorenads, and Syndra gets the kill on the Deathless. AD carry no more. This game swings back into RDG's momentum as they continue down the mid lane.
All right, they need to be careful though. They keep fighting without flame, and that's making it significantly more difficult. This Olaf, such a big part of their comp here. They take a fight, they win it, but it looks like they're not going to be in position to do Baron. So EDE, they're stalling the game out through aggressive plays. And that one was not as good. They really needed that Cosmic Radiance to stall for time, for that Taylor Swift damage to come through. Those Soranads was low, makes it out, but needs to find that Cosmic Radiance angle.
And you got to feel it as well. A lot is riding on this Tarek pick. Feels like that one fight that they turned around, that early Cosmic Radiance into the great communication to go forward, enable Masho to go in there and negate a lot of the damage that comes out of RDG. But that goal lead is still there, 7,000 in favor of Rubber Ducky Gaming. That's no joke, by the way. Even though this game looks a little bit closer, they're still holding on to that, and that's the most important thing in this game. Baron is now on the map, so you can see the wards are very defensive from EDE. They have to face check a lot, and they can't use Pally because he just can't get out of the side lane.
All right, they found a solution to that lamp. Red Honda in the side lane with the TP versus Pally here. And Pally doesn't even have a mythic completed, so they feel pretty safe with Syndra there in that side lane. Doesn't have MR either, so Red Honda is safe. And now they just need to execute on this Baron here. They have everything they need. They have the pressure, they have the vision advantage. Flames in the top side, he's close by, he's in the neighborhood. So I want them to execute on this Baron, close out this game, and show that they are something that need to be respected in the early game. You just can't try to perma scale against Rubber Ducky Gaming. Otherwise, it's a free series for EDE here. They're pulling the Baron. They're going for it. Red Honda actually roams up. And it looks like we're going to have a 5v5. Dogman's going to have to use TP to get to this Baron.
Oh, they're going to see them there. Scatter the weak lads.
Oh,
Most important target. That's
Masho.
going to be the jungler Masho under threat. Now Cosmic Radiance goes down. It goes down in time. Masho going to live. Espresso on the front line. Heals up, goes back. Pally going to drop on the front line of EDE. Ragnarok activate. Try and stop him. Flame looking to drop Tete. And that happens. Accompanied by Espresso. Death charge on it. Dogman eats the anchor again. And Red Honda collects the 5th kill of the game.
They tried their best, but they couldn't find the aggressive engage, which is what they really need to do. They can't play that defensively because they're just going to have no damage. And you can see here, the only one who was low is Flame. He's going to heal that right up. So they need to play aggressively. They can't afford to kite. They have to go in and use the Cosmic Radiance to get kills. Fortunately for them, that is not what happened. And now Rubber Ducky Gaming find themselves a Baron. They find themselves more turrets that they're going to be taking down. And not to mention an incredibly fed Red Honda on the Syndra, Espresso on this Wukong, as well as Vesper on the Varus. That's just so much burst damage to contend with, as well as the fact that Masho is so behind in this game. Cannot survive before the Cosmic Radiance comes down.
11,000 is a gold lead, as if we need to pay attention to that anymore. You see that through the brute force that Rubber Ducky Gaming have. Espresso goes without the team. Okay, Masho going to answer with a cease and desist. You're going to get cease and desist in place. Vi drops for free. Debated from Espresso. And again, just dies for free. And now that siege is going to come. They got 4 strong in that mid lane. Looks like they're waiting for Olaf to sync up this wave. Espresso, Pally waiting in the wings. They're going to see him now. That's a big engage right there. That's going to be the Encore accompanied by the Cosmic Radiance. We're going to see gunshots. That's going to be rockets instead by the Jinx. Tete gets that one. Or Darrow flashes over the wall and Espresso goes back on the ward clearing duty. So all in all, they trade 1 for 1 and they stem the bleeding.
They got Red Honda as well. So the Syndra is not going to be here. Has TP, so I think they need to stall about 26 seconds. That's not Pokevar, so that is not a lot of damage coming through. Masho is respawned in here. Flame on the backside.
No flash for like 5 seconds. Taylor Swift goes down. Oh, what timing. What presence. What power. And Flame as he drives the stake through EDE in this first game. And Rubber Ducky Gaming looking to break open the base.
Yeah, Flame not accounted for. Just gets in the perfect angle right onto Taylor Swift here. That's just a free flash being blown as Baron minions are assaulting this turret here. They're going to look for more.
Oh, it might get worse for Dogman here. He's walking away, not for very long. Syndra gets that one again. Must show. In between the Nexus turrets, the only saving Grace Guard of the week onto the Vi. He's an axe as well, flame tanking both of the turrets. Will decide not to chase that kill. They're going to get 2 inhibitors at least. Mega Death Rocket goes out, goes wide, not going to land on a Vesper. That flash was down as well on the virus, so very close for Taylor Swift to get one back. But RDG, 13,000 to the good.
They're playing it by the book here, and they're going to get this 3rd dragon. Oh, wait a minute. They're going to back. This is going to be a give. I think they're resting on the fact that EDE are not going to check this. And that is a wise move from EDE, so they're not going to do it. The reset comes in from the Baron Empowered. And they're going to be able to make it there in time. They have 2 inhibs down, so they can just push in the top side right after this. And they can try to close this out before the 30-minute mark. As, I mean, they've tried multiple times. And the only thing that has worked for EDE is an aggressive play lamp. When they are the ones calling the engage and going in, and Flame is busy split pushing on the side lane. That is their one avenue that they've been using, and it's working. Despite being, like, what, 13k down. So it has been successful. Obviously, it's just a little too late.
Well, I do want to shout out Taylor Swift again. Almost 12 CS per minute on this Jinx. 3 items to the good. There's going to be a defense in a good position to do so, but it just looks like there's so many odds stacked against this AD carry who has turned up a little bit too late in this one. Really not really had the chance either. You could say that the setup hasn't just been there, and now these waves, these super minions are going to be crashing into the base as RDG look to close this one out. And Crims, we made reference to sending a message in game 1. And for the mental, this has got to be detrimental because this is a bit of a slaughter now. They're pulling them apart methodically.
All right, they're playing very safe now in the mid lane. They understand that the 5v4 without Flame is actually quite difficult. They need that threat. Espresso finds a flank on the backside. Taylor Swift is forced back. That's how they need to play this out. They're gonna, I guess they're just gonna group. They're a bit afraid of splitting at this moment. All right, Flame walking back up. Okay, they're going for the split push angle. I mean, I don't think anyone could really challenge Flame. It's just no one has the HP bar. Just so much damage. Oh, a pick here would be so good for them.
Ali just trying to clear that wave as if it matters. Espresso leaves the clone behind. Going to be the next focus. Encore lands on 2. Dredgeling going to land there as well. Cosmic Radiance goes down in time. Scar of the Week doesn't land. A lot of missed plays here, but it doesn't matter. The brute force might be too much from RDG. Double kill already. That's going to be Seraphine getting one back. Triple kill. Link for the Quadra. Link for the Penta. Flame. Dogman still running.
Gonna go for it.
Not going to get it. Dogman throws out the high note, and Flame will take the high road straight to the Nexus turrets. RDG, they don't get that Penta kill, but they're going to get the win in game 1.
I was a bit worried when the Cosmic Radiance came down onto the whole team of EDE. But despite that, the gold lead wasn't there. Not enough stats to be checked. And dominant fashion, Rubber Ducky Gaming are going to be picking up the first win. And I think this is a very important message for EDE here. You can't just BM the early game of Robert Ducky Gaming. That kind of draft is just a spit in the face. They really should respect the early game prowess that Rubber Ducky Gaming has. So they're going to have to take a bit of a look at their draft, revamp some things. I think the Malphite pick into the Olaf was very much detrimental. They tried to play out this comp, but they needed to do something. They needed to have a winning lane because Rubber Ducky Gaming just won all sides and just completely ran over them.
And as predicted, once this Olaf gets ahead, it's a problem. I mean, he had the flank on Taylor Swift once or twice, actually not keeping track of that Olaf. Again, it's just really well played from Rubber Ducky Gaming. They looked so much better once they had that lead. They had that very close team fight where actually they were run down and everything was almost perfect circumstances for emotional damage energy here, Crims. But we're going to take a look at the damage charts in a minute, but just run me through, like, how do you bounce back from that? Because we're looking at such a substantial, I mean, it's almost 15,000 the end gold lead, and individually across the board, Rubber Ducky Gaming, they didn't look out of place, not once. Red Honda, fantastic game on the Syndra. Vesper, kind of that quiet assassin on the backside as well, throwing out Pierce Narrows, actually got a double kill in one of the team fights. So a lot of these carries stepped up to the plate, and they've got a lot more coming. But can they get it? Just keep that train rolling. And where do you go from EDE here? Because that was a pretty substantial loss.
EDE have to just respect that early game. The Olaf, maybe not scouted, wasn't banned. They weren't afraid of it. Thought that Pally on the Malphite could stand up to it, and that's just not the case here. The Tark, a bit of a greedy pick as well, because you just know in the early game that Cosmic Radiance needs more time and just gets bursted out. So the comp was a bit greedy from the side of EDE. I don't think they're gonna make that mistake. I think they're gonna adjust here, but Rubber Ducky Gaming, they gotta win, and they punish EDE's draft game 1.
Well, for the first time in a while, Crims, your prediction was correct, so congratulations. Yes, I'm humble in defeat.
Okay.
There's always next game. I mean, you can't go with a favorite every single time. I mean, if that's the way you do it, then your odds are going to get lower. You're not going to get as much payout. But I hope whoever did bet on that game, who's cashing in, because ultimately that's what we're looking at. We're all here for the channel points. I'm only kidding. Semi-finals, baby. I mean, we'll bring up the damage charts here as well, if we can. And take a look at it. Yeah, there we go. Are you surprised by any of these numbers here, Crims? I mean, Syndra was phenomenal, combination is great, but you can see across the board for the 4 carries on that team, the damage is really close.
That's kind of what I expected. I mean, they all won, so they're all doing significantly more damage in the game than their counterparts as well. So, yeah, to be expected. I think Espresso, as high as he is actually surprising, but multiple times Wukong getting the engage, being in position exactly where he needs to be, shutting down Michaud, as well as knocking up Seraphine and Taylor Swift. Dogman, they had a hard time this game.
They had a hard time, but there's always that opportunity to bounce back, as Conqueror is shown across the season. But we're in the semi-finals. Guys, we're going to cut to a small break. But when we come back, we'll get him prepped and ready for game 2, this best of 5. Rubber Ducky Gaming, they lead the way, but can emotional damage energy bounce back right after this? Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. That's right, we don't leave you waiting that long. Me and Crims, we care about our community over here in the Conqueror League. And okay, Crims, let's get serious. Okay, serious face on.
Okay.
How does emotional damage energy bounce back? I asked you towards the end of the last break, but how do they actually bounce back into this one? Reset the mental, say, yeah, there's a serious face.
Yeah, where's
How
your
do they do
serious
it?
face?
Where
'Cause
do you
I'm
want to
very
see
serious.
it happen? Because Taylor Swift had a phenomenal game, 11, 12 CS per minute, even though the whole map is losing. But it's AD carry, it can't be on all that big pressure. The shoulders, they're broad, but they're not that broad. We've seen Taylor Swift, she's pretty small, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't listen to Taylor Swift, dude.
I mean, she's kind of tall. I don't know her height, but at least pretty tall. I don't know.
Maybe
Ten-
compared to you, Crims.
Now compared to
Don't-
you, pretty
don't
sure.
say-
Pretty-
All right, we're getting in the draft. Let's get away from this Taylor Swift talk here. We're getting the bans coming through already. The bans are pretty much resembling the same. We've seen that close, I guess, pentakill almost at the end there for Flame. Had a phenomenal game on that Olaf. How does he represent that again? Does that Olaf bear the question, do we ban that away or do they let it slide? I doubt that was the main problem.
Well, the question is for EDE, if they want to go with something like the Jinx, something a little more immobile, plus the Seraphine, yeah, you got to ban the Olaf. No doubt about it. They're going to ban the Wukong as well. If they want to go the Vi, that makes a lot more sense. And so if they make that adjustment, it's going to be all okay from me to keep going with this strategy. But if they don't want to ban the Olaf, they can do something like Zeri. Zeri can hop over walls. Olaf cannot. So stuff like that is going to be able to counter the Olaf a lot better.
Oh.
They're going to take out the Vi. Very smart that they know because the Wukong is being banned, the Vi is going to be what they're basically headhunting here as their second pick. So they take that out of the pool as well. And now it looks like we have the three best engaged junglers being removed. Varus is going to be picked up blind yet again. And now EDE are going to be able to respond differently this time. I think that if they do end up locking in the Jinx and Seraphine, just go Olaf. Just slam that in. B2, B3, because it's just such a hard counter. And Olaf only really has one counter pick in lane. That's the Kled. And beyond that, you don't have to worry.
Oh, AD carries been prioritized. Jax, I believe, was banned away in game one, so that one's getting let through here. EDE are going to pick that one up. So a different look for Pally. And I cast your mind back, Crims, the last game that we casted over emotional damage energy. Pally was playing this Jax, and it looked pretty good. So he's going to feel comfortable on this champion, but you can see on the side of RDG, they're going to run back the same bot lane. Why not? It didn't do that bad. In fact, it done great. It done better than expected.
It done good.
Yeah, it done good. Great, excellent. I mean, there's a lot of words that describe how well this bot lane went. But again, the Nautilus being locked in here, it's very pivotal in order to actually lock down these carries. Jinx being especially one of them. But what are you taking to this Jax? Come on, predict this. Predict it. What are we taking?
I mean, you could go Olaf. Olaf still wins early. Malphite actually is a fine pick into Jinx and Jax. So just waiting for the coach to lock something in. I imagine it's going to be one of those two. Okay,
oh,
Jace
yeah.
is a counter pick to that Jax is in lane. And I was going to talk about it. The Braum gets picked before it's banned away here because Braum is not only good into this Nautilus, it's going to be very good in team fights against the Varus. And now the Jace on top of that as well. So this Braum pick is mega EDE setup Sornets for a good spot. And that means he can provide a lot of protection for Taylor Swift here. Now, I think they're going to have to find angles into the mid lane from the side of Rubber Ducky Gaming. They have the opportunity to get something like the Lissandra if it's not banned here. And that's going to give them a lot of luck down, potentially onto this Jinx here. So we'll see. They can flex pick the Jace as well. And they're going to take away Dogman's Seraphine. And I think this draft from EDE, Lamb, it's just miles better. So much better than the first one.
Yeah, we definitely seen a bit of a turnpike in the way that EDE want to draft a composition. Give yourself more than just one opportunity to win the game. They have that in the form of the Jax. They have the protection of the Braum, and close, of course, that Glacial Fissure as well is going to be very disruptive come the team fights. The slow that applies also includes onto the Jace. He eventually wants to get into melee distance to try and assassinate Jinx or somebody else. Could be that 1v1 against Pally is going to be phenomenal. Belveth actually going to be locked in here from EDE as well. We haven't seen that champion in a while, but it's rearing its head up in this series.
It's very counterable, so they're leaving Rubber Ducky Gaming options here to counter this Belveth. Really good as like a AD bruiser slash duelist. So if you pick a lot of AD champions, Belveth's going to excel in the game with her physical damage reduction.
Oh,
Nocturne, one of the champions that can do good into Belveth. And they lock in Vex double dive combo on Rubber Ducky Gaming. They're aiming to take out Taylor Swift right in front of EDE and assassinate him on the back line.
What turn of events. Lights out, fears out. Yeah, you may as well call that combination Michael Myers, because it's a scary combination. Nocturne plus the Vex can get at you from miles away, miles around, as long as the vision's going to be there. They're gonna run back the Malphite.
Okay, Malphite mid makes the most sense.
AP Malphite.
No, actually, wait a minute. Malphite top lane into Jace makes the most sense. I'm sorry. Once Malphite hits level 6, we'll be able to just basically get on top of Jace, kill him. One thing Jace doesn't want is people just unstoppable in his face. But that means they're going to put the Jax into Vex, which is also terrible. Whoever picks up this Jax lamp is just going to have a terrible day. So who's going to suffer? It's going to be between Dogman and Pally. And it's up to EDE who to inflict that suffering upon.
So the suffering was already applied to Malphite in game 1, but they want to run it back here as well to see if it fares a little bit better. Maybe they're thinking they can flex the rest. Jackson to the mid lane, Malphite in the top lane. Interesting mid lane pick. I mean, Vex against Jax is disengaged built into Vex without doing very much. So the engages might not be there, but it can be set up by Belveth. Of course, she needs a little bit more time in the jungle to actually get the stacks, get up there, and be that hyper aggressive, that attack speed steroid, just pump full. Trend 10, baby, in that jungle. But again, let's actually go back to it and let's apply it from the top here. So these compositions, right, we're seeing the run back of the Virus and Nautilus. That's absolutely fine. It did really well. They're changing it up with the Jace, Nocturne, and the Vex here as well. But how does the Jace factor in here? Because ultimately, it's almost like playing a weak side in the top and then just focusing on the rest of the map here. What's the thinking of Rubber Ducky Gaming, Crims? Tell me.
Well, they wanted the Jace and the Jax to actually have a strong top side because Jace can zone away the Jax, makes it impossible for him to get in, and then poke him down slowly. Can't do that against the Malphite. So if Malphite ends up being top lane and Jace ends up going there as well, that's going to be a counter matchup. Malphite can poke back, and then once he's level 6, just pretty much can close the gap unstoppable and shut down the Jace here. On the flip side, I think Jax loses into Vex and Jace, so better option is to send the Malphite up there. And yeah, you're going to be taking a beating, but once you're level 6, it's going to be that turnaround revenge time for Pally here. But overall, I think their draft is quite weird on the side of EDE. Unless Malphite's going like full AP, I don't really see a source of magic damage. I guess Jax can go AP as well. I've seen that before. But it's not going to be really solid like a typical control mage. Malphite loses, I mean, it has a good burst, but it's going to be limited damage in the fight. And Jax does not have that much burst compared to other mages, but will be supplying that magic damage. Okay, I think the numbers are in. Pally is at least going to play Jax. Now, I don't know if they're going to rotate Pally to the mid lane, but we know that much for sure.
Okay, spoiler alert, actually coming through Crims, not Lamb this time. So, again, Nocturne is one of those champions that is restricted by that level 6 capability. Of course, you can gank before that, But Espresso just wants to power farm, get that level 6, then start unleashing that paranoia. The first paranoia in this game is so pivotal. You have to make it count. It's on a long cooldown relatively early on. So the path in Espresso, again, this jungler is phenomenal in the way that he can dictate Summoner's Rift and make things happen for his team. But where are you expecting him to go? There's so much threat in the top side of the map, in that mid lane as well. It won't take Vex very much to get onto this Malphite. But if it's AP Malphite, that could spell a little bit of trouble. Malphite has the capabilities to try and one-shot you, but at the same time, he becomes so squishy that he's very easily displaced off. And then, what do you fall back on? Because we're looking across the board for EDE. Their engage options here are very limited apart from that Malphite.
They have the Belveth and Jax Malphite. Like, they can also engage. All of them have an AoE CC. So they have a lot of options. I think they really got to hit from multiple angles here, Lamb. They can't really just run straight at them. If they get a really good Malphite ult, of course they can, but it's going to be hard for them to get that really good Malphite ult if they're just running straight at them as a 5-man. Have to play the angles, come from all sides around objectives, and corner them into a really good engage. And then they can win these fights. The Jinx will be able to free hit. Well, Braum provides that peel, but I don't think that's what the plan. I don't think that's how it's gonna go, to be honest. I do think that with this Braum adaptation in the bot lane, it's gonna go a lot better in that bot lane. Braum Jinx gonna be able to fight back and have easier scaling around versus the Taric.
I was just about to say, let's actually talk about that bot lane. So, Varus Nautilus being run back against the Jinx and Braum, and of course, Jinx with the attack speed on the switcheroo. Basically can stack up that, and then you can manage to get the stun off as well. So you got a lot of kill threat as well if Braum is going forward. So that's probably another option that they can navigate in these team fights to try and get those concussive blow stacks on as many people as they possibly can in order to proc them and then root them up and kill them. Because ultimately across the board on RDG's side as well, these are not the tankiest of champions, right? These can be cut down pretty quickly, and when you got a champion like Jinx, she's going to enjoy this game if she's untouched. And if we go by anything in game 1, that's not going to be the case.
It's going to be down to whoever gets the first engage. So if Malphite's there, gets the engage, going to be really good for EDE. Reverse, if Rubber Ducky gets the engage onto Taylor Swift, of course, there's really no other target, then they are going to be in a good spot to win the team fight. It's going to be a bit rough because there's quite an amount of HP bars for them to cut through. Depending if they go a poke style or not, that should also change up how they can play these fights. If they're going all poke, they can completely poke out EDE. There's no healing. Force people to back, and then they can take over the game that way. I think that is a really solid strat for them. We'll see what the runes are going to be. But with Jace, Varus, and even Vex poke, they can just completely control the map that way. And it would be, I think, my recommended way of winning the game. If they do go that route, Varus can also, he can change whatever build he wants here. They're going to need someone to take out the Malphite and the Jax. It's just going to be tough. There's a lot riding on Red Honda's ability to play this Vex, because she's got to kill Jinx, and then she's got to provide consistent magic damage to get rid of the Jax and the Belveth.
And prediction really quick, Crims, who's going to take game 2? We're going to see a 2-0, or is this series getting evened up?
Oh, I don't like either of their drafts into each other, to be honest. So I think the Malphite, if he survives, and I think he's going to versus Red Honda's Vex, I'm going to give it to EDE. I think EDE are going to win this one. It might be close.
Okay, I have to go RDG. You know how the handshake works. But excuse me a second, Crims. Hey, you! Yes, you! Clipping competition, it exists! If you're not clipping, why? Why are you not clipping? There's phenomenal plays across Summoner's Rift today. And that's only game 1, baby. So remember to get your clips in and make sure that you're in for the best. Sems has told me it's actually an all-inclusive holiday. That's kind of the rumor heading across the streets of Titan Esports, but I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one. You'll need to check in with him. But make sure you get your clips in. And, of course, the predictions, once they go up, guys, get those in. You have to be cashing in at all opportunities. We need to stay rich in the channel point department. I know I'm doing pretty well, but looking is not. So, praise for looking. We're going to cut to a small break, guys. But once we come back, it's game 2, your semifinals in the Conqueror League. RDG against EDE right after this. Upper Ducky Gaming on the blue side. Little bit of emotional damage energy on the red side for this game too. The semi-finals in the Conqueror Leagues. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Crims, we've already got your thoughts. You think EDE are going to level this one up and send us to a very exciting game 3. But there was a heavy defeat in that first game. They've managed to at least stay protected. They're not going to give up first blood that easily in this one. But talk to me about this small fight. We see that fleet footwork. He's looking to... Yeah, Dogman's looking to turn into a greyhound with those booties in the rune inventory.
I don't know. I think Comet is better here. I guess Red Honda could shield it, but I just think it's the only way you can really get any sort of contest in lane is to poke out this Vex and use your own shielding to just out-sustain in the lane. Dogman's going to do something similar, but with fleet footwork here. I just don't think it's nearly as effective in creating that HP differential in the trades, because you're not going to be attacking Red Honda most of the time. You're going to be attacking minions. And so unless there's some sort of tech that I'm not aware of, I think this is actually a bit of a mistake from Dogman.
I don't know about you, Crims, but I am excited to see Pally on this Janks again. We've seen him pop off on this champion several times, actually. Going close in one game, he actually lost, and then the other game, he was pretty phenomenal. Getting the teleport wraparounds that you so preemptively would tell me, and then I'd be like, hey, even surprised me. So Pally, maybe they're looking to make that happen in this game. And of course, Flame in that game 1 did the same on the Olaf. So we're looking at very highly skilled top laners in this game.
And they're willing to take it to each other here. They're not going to shy away in a pick like Jax and or Jace, and that's what I want to see. No fear. As Dogman getting pushed in, as expected. He's doing all right in this matchup so far. We'll see if the CS differential gets anything crazy. As Masho going to clear up topside. This clear means that they're looking for a topside gank early and quick, as Belveth can move around quite a bit and has that CC, so they can combo up here on the top side.
Masho is here, gets knocked back by
what
Flame.
Was that?
They get the flash out with the Jace. Going to reactivate the above and beyond right there. Masho gets first blood. Espresso is here though, walking straight into the Nocturne. He's going to get a kill back and drops the opposing jungler, looking for 2. Pally can't get his safety with the leap strike. Right place at the right time. Espresso gets one back. They trade 1 for 1.
Yeah, that is interesting set of plays there. I think Espresso ditched the full clear to assist and ends up rewarded with a counter kill. That means that there's going to be a bit of a jungle diff because of that first blood. And now Flame is going to be set back a little bit here. As CS up now, but I think it's going to be down in EXP. Pally going to be taking full benefit of that. And we will see if this Jax can get off the ground here, or is Flame going to continually hold him down in this lane?
Well, a kill on either of the junglers here spells exciting things for this game. Who can get further ahead than the other one? And of course, Nocturne is that champion that's limited by the level 6, but doesn't show it there. Espresso continuing to show why the top jungler in this league. But of course, Masho making things happen up there in the top lane too. So Pally, that pressure was actually alleviated by Masho. That level 2 came in first for the Jace, and then Pally was stuck getting zoned off that wave. That's why you've seen that Belveth rotate around, and rightly so. Dogman takes a negative trade against the Vex, but again, Red Honda very comfortable in game 1, looking to do the same in this one actually with mana right now.
All right, Espresso, they're trying to set a little bit of a gank here. The wave is pulling, so eventually there will be an angle, unless Pally sniffs it out here. Flame playing aggressively. I think they're expecting Masho to be around here, and the timing's a little bit off. Maybe about a minute away from that as Flame goes in.
Oh, Nocturne's here, knocked away. Pally walking away. That fear's going to land on him. He's going to go in the opposite direction too. Oh, Pally, one more turret shot. Espresso falls straight in 1 for 1. It's not a bad trade. The teleport is down, but that wave is going to neutralize up there in the top lane.
There's one issue, and that is Masho just hunting on the side. Flame can't get it in as we have a skirmish on bot side here.
Taylor Swift ate that anchor, taking it very bravely, and Soranad's gonna stay beside the Jinx at all times. And of course, this Braum pick has so much value in this game. We'll see how much the bot lane duo can get done. Already accumulating a CS lead. Are we surprised on that? Crims Taylor Swift just looks to be that much more better than Vesper right now in the laning phase. But of course, once it transitions into that 5-on-5, then Vesper definitely gels with his team really, really well. And you can see that just in the confidence in the bot lane synergy throughout this series so far. Even in game one, they were pretty close to and fro. But the control of the wave, once one side has got it, they look good and they make all the rewards of that one. Oh, okay. I just got surprised that that ankle went through on his Soren. As he throws up that shield, they walk away. Malphite on the roam right now. And he's only got that no magic mantle. So that gives you an inclination. The build path to Dogman in this game here, Crims.
Yeah, Dogman so far surviving as Dogman gets the roam down bottom. Red Honda runs out of mana. And that gives them an opportunity. He's level 6. They're looking for it. I think they're going to go for the dive as well. They have 4 people down here, Masho as well. And it looks like there's not enough minions. And will they take the dragon? As they've certainly earned it with the push. Dogman and Masho here. Just going to walk right past it. A bit risky. I do think so. Red Honda makes it back to that mid lane. But so far, the first roam does not come out from the Vex Slam. It's actually from Dogman. And that's kind of crazy because Red Honda's the one with all the push, the pressure, the range. Doesn't have that mana pool. Can't match the sustainability, it seems, with this fleet footwork here. But Red Honda's the one who really needs to be making these roam plays instead.
Oh, even though Red Honda has accumulated a CS lead in that mid lane, it doesn't really care. I guess you could say Dogman just wants to stay relevant in this one. As long as he can get to that first most important item, then he's definitely going to be in a good position in this game. The Malphite going to be used for that displacement that comes through. Of course, it might be hard to get on the Espresso unless you bait out that shield. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. And getting the roam already, it kind of shows that Dogman's stepping up the game here. You can say the same for emotional damage energy. This early game is much more closer. This looks much better from them here.
Oh, wait a minute. Red Honda.
Oh, good flash from Red Honda. Get away from that one. Doom and Gloom passive fully stacked. So that would have sent away the Malphite. That's going to be the paranoia. Comes down, goes straight on the Malphite, brings it back in. But the bot lane has rotated. 2 kills go over. But how much can go to Taylor Swift here? Gets the Espresso. Looking to take out the minigun as well, or Darrow in trouble. No one around to help the Nautilus. Hooligan and Sinker on him. Double kill for the notorious AD carry of ED.
They roam up Taylor Swift and Sorenads, and that proves to be the better decision if you want to go for that skirmish there. They leave Vesper all alone. He's going to pick up free CS. But the thing is, he's not really going to get that much. The 2 kills from Taylor Swift is going to be much bigger. She's, in fact, going to be picking up the back end of those minions anyway. And so that roam up, that push and roam from the bot lane just proves to be so vital for EDE here. And this already, Lamb, is such a better look in game number 2. We'll see that in the end, the Rift Herald's still going to be claimed by Rubber Ducky Gaming. But it comes at that price of that skirmish. And now they really have to use that Rift Herald, get some good value out of it to make it worth it.
Well, now that sets Taylor Swift aside comfortably in the form of 700 gold between AD carries now. That's a little bit concerning for Vesper. And of course, this Jinx. The way that Taylor Swift played that first game, you know the CS numbers are going to be up there as well. Varus actually evening out that CS discrepancy. But again, nobody really playing for that dragon. This is the longest dragon take we've seen in a while. No pings going down on it either, and you can see the vision. There's one sole defensive ward there for the side of EDE, but they could have the rotations to maybe try and check this. Malphite on the roam again. It's always very dangerous, Crims. When a Malphite is in Fog of War, you just don't know who's accompanying him.
And he can just come out from the shadows and get an instant burst kill onto someone like Vesper. So, very sketchy. That hook gonna land.
And that's just the shield. That negates the change of corruption.
Yeah, completely negated.
No kill threat going through again. And Sorna is that Braum pick. The value, insurmountable.
He just came soaring in with the shield up and blocked it.
Sorenads. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, you got it.
I stole it. I stole his thunder.
Well, that's going to be a big ultimate that they are going to use here. And they have no pressure on this drone. Wait a minute!
Had no right in doing that. Death charge onto Tate. Paranoia goes down as well. Red Honda Goes in, gets damage on my show. They're going to turn on to the Nautilus, so they'll get one back in the form of a kill. Great flash time perfectly from Vesper. Otherwise, he's one to fall. But what a steal from the AD carry of Rubber Ducky Gaming.
I can't believe that just happened. A bit of an illegal move here, as Pally's going to try to save some plates on the top side. I mean, if Flame picks up like 2 or 3 plates, it's going to affect that matchup drastically here. Vesper caught himself a Taylor Swift, below half HP.
Oh, good flash from AD carry, Taylor Swift. Trading some damage back, Sornads. Cost the blow passive already used. Nasho is here above and beyond. No, just avoid search to get forward, holding on to that right now. And it's a measured approach. They don't commit for anything. Espresso's going to return Batiste to the jungle. They'll see him as well. And Masho going to do the same.
All right, ends up being a bit of a nothing burger there. But that Dragon Seal is huge because the control style comp from Flame, like he's going to go for the kill.
Flame's going to go for that every single day. Dogman, a little bit too late to this one. Does he have enough damage to take down the Jace? No ultimate on Dogman either. He might be able to run him down, actually. Eventually, yeah, flashes forward for it. Gets the slow. Mega Death Rocket! Okay, Tay. We see patting the stats. Fourth kill of the game for the AD carry of EDE.
Tay too good at that. I'm going to be honest. How does he consistently get those long-range ultimates? He's well studied at sniper school with this Jinx here. As, they don't get the first turret, though. That would be a nice boost to their economy right now. But importantly, Flame starting to make some magic work on the top side versus Pally. Picks up 2 plates, almost going to get 3. He might be able to pick it up. Already has the solo bolo. Their one problem is Taylor Swift. And they do have an answer in Espresso and Red Honda, but so far, they haven't been able to sink a kill onto this very important AD carry.
Or Darrow goes fishing again, lands onto the Jinx, but won't be able to take that one. That's going to be mid lane being dropped. Now Vex is going to continually push this in without answer. They can see 4 down here. My show's going to show as well. So a little bit of trade-offs happening. They're actually going to rotate the Vex to try and get Pally. So we'll trade the turrets at the very least. I feel like that's a little bit of a missed window for Red Honda. Could have kept on pushing there, but decides to go up there and try and get the dive off, but not going to happen. Dogman actually uses the teleport to protect that top laner, who is behind in the CS department, just over, I believe it is 15. Actually, I'm going to give you a specific number. It's 19 CS, 20 CS. Yeah, quick math. No, we do, Crimmers. Back me up here.
I'm going to do that by sliding into a new topic.
Okay, thank you.
I think that it's interesting to see in this game, EDE sacrifice so much of their solo lanes for Taylor Swift here because they completely gave up mid. They are not sending any help top towards Pally. And they're just full sending all of their members, 4 of them, down in the bot side. Pally just trying to pick up CS best he can in the meantime. So this is really a dedication to the carry power of Taylor Swift in this game. They know that's where the damage has to come from, and they know that's where their bread is buttered. And so they are sacrificing so much for this. So if Red Honda and Flame are in a good position, Lamb, it's going to be them versus Taylor Swift. 2 versus 1. Who takes it?
Who takes it? Dogman going to take a bit of damage from Red Honda, but this is Colossus in the form of Malphite, actually sailing through this early game pretty unscathed. Not bad for the CS department in the Malphite. Dogman just fine, going to opt for the back there, out of mana. So we'll go back and get a nice reset, and we take our attention to that mid lane again, fighting for priority. These objectives, and they're playing around them here. Rift Herald, the second one of the game, 20 seconds away. See a dragon, actually just less than 35 seconds. So decisions have to be made, and you can see for the side of EDE, they already have that Southside River warded, so that could give you the inclination that they're going to try and select and take this dragon. And will it be stolen away again? Because they should have had that first one.
Okay, they're hunting for Red Honda here. Meanwhile, Rift Herald going to be taken. They don't get Red Honda. TPs away towards the top side. And now it's going to be a trade commencing here. I don't think they want the dragon. I mean, they don't want the Rift Herald. They really should prefer the dragon. However, I guess you beggars can't be choosers.
Nope, and they're going to say, Crims, you don't know what you're talking about. They're going to drop second Herald, actually, in that mid lane. Pings are going down. Looks like the pincer is going to be activated here as well. Pally won't be able to join the team because he has to get through Flame first. He's going to have first rotations, good rotations, on that top side. So can he get down there in time? Looks like they're not going to meet. They could collide here head to head. They're waiting in the brush. That's on a ward though. Darrow taking the forefront of the damage. They collapse onto the Jinx. Okay, Vex gets Tete with the Shadow Surge. Masho manages to get one back in the form of that one, but over the wall again goes the Vex. The Doom and Gloom passive setting it up, knocking them down, and Braum is the next casualty.
Oh.
That's a triple onto the Jax as well. So Pally does get involved, but he falls there in desperate attempt to try and keep the squad alive. They get for it and only leave Dogman alive.
Lamb, it was a trap that they set up, and beautifully done. They get control of the top side jungle, which was completely abandoned by EDE, who went for that dragon, and they just courageously walk right into there. But it was their downfall because they walked right into the waiting arms of Rubber Ducky Gaming, and they got straight onto Taylor Swift, completely blindsiding him, and win the skirmish right after that. And it was a slaughter in there. And so this gold lead, which a couple minutes before was like, what, 2K, has now just skyrocketed up to 5K. And they are looking like Rubber Ducky Gaming want to take over yet again.
Darrow's in trouble here. He's a massive rocket to the face as well. And that's going to be another kill onto the Jinx. She fell in that skirmish. Great snipe from Red Honda, honestly. They managed to navigate that in such a small corridor, so many targets moving around, and gets the money on that Jinx, gets the shutdown. Actually, she was carrying it deathless in the game until that point. So could that be the start of the snowball for Rubber Ducky Gaming? They've bid their time in this game so far, Crims, and their patience is paying off.
No MR for the side of EDE, and that means Red Honda just going to find that much more significance in this game. Taylor Swift has no defensives, just relying entirely on Soranads. And Soranads can only do so much on the Braum. I mean, Braum has a lot of value with that shield here, but if you're coming from all sides, if Espresso's ulting in on the Nocturne and they don't block the Vex ults, that's just going to be so much guaranteed damage on the Taylor Swift. And that's going to put him in a difficult spot in this game. So that first engage that I was talking about in the draft is so vital here. And so far in this game, it is Rubber Ducky Gaming who are pulling the trigger first and getting their engage onto Taylor Swift and getting the kills before Dogman and Taylor Swift can respond.
Still awaiting that big engage from Dogman in this one. Looks enticing, but no follow-up from the team.
Okay, they're just backing up.
Yeah, trying to
Dogman.
get some push in that mid lane as well. And there's no objective for just over a minute here, and that will be the Baron joining Summoner's Rift. So I think he managed to try and get some push in that mid lane, try and get these bounties down. More gold into the pocket can't be a bad thing, because 6,000 gold lead approaching 20 minutes into the game is still looking really good for RDG here.
They have to respect it's 4 versus 3, but now it looks like they're going for the flank. Do they have the angle?
Anchor toss lands onto the Braum. They've negated him from the fight. Oh, that's amazing! Scintillating out from Red Honda, queuing them up once again. 3-man Doom and Gloom, and that's going to be Doom right there for the side of EDE. Now their base might be the next focus. What a play!
They completely remove Soraned from the equation there, as Odara locks him down, can't save Taylor Swift if he can't move, and they just get the perfect engage right on to Tay. And it's looking like Lamb, Rubber Ducky Gaming have figured out how to beat EDE. And I mean, look, it's not a tough formula. We know how they want to play the game, but they've drafted up something special for Taylor Swift here, and it's working miraculously.
And these team fights are just not going the way of emotional damage energy. That's Death Rocket actually lands on the Varus, and of course Vesper nice and healthy, so it's not going to be any threat of dying there. But the dragon is 10 seconds away, and it looks like EDE are looking to secure this one. It'll be the second dragon on their side, third dragon of the game. So Soul Point is still a little bit away. 6 minutes, depending on
Wait,
when
Dogman,
they
no
get this one
ultimates.
down. Red Honda waiting in the wings, managed to get the wraparound as well. Keep your eyes on the Vex here.
Red
Could be
Honda.
looking for the flank. This will be massive. Paranoia goes down. They get back on the Taylor Swift. Once again, it's an instant replay, and the rest of the squad have been put to the sword. Soranad's next focus. Dogman trying to run away as best he can. Gets followed by Red Honda, but manages to flash to safety. But will the base be safe? They've got supers marching it to the Nexus turrets.
Paranoia just makes it so difficult for Taylor Swift to even see the Shadow Surge coming, Lamb. It's almost impossible to dodge, and Red Honda's been landing it every single time. Lamb, I think this was something Rubber Ducky Gaming were saving for this game here, and it looks like they've crafted meticulously throughout the week a perfect counter EDE draft 2 games in a row. They set up something that can take down Taylor Swift in game number 1, Pally on the Olaf, and now game number 2, Espresso and Red Honda have another answer for Taylor Swift, despite being 4-0-1, now ended up 5-3, those 3 deaths from this combo, and they're pulling it off beautifully. Lamb, this is the type of League of Legends I love to see.
You like that, Crims? They're putting that on just for you, buddy. But I mean, the way that they played those team fights, phenomenal. You already mentioned that the fact that Taylor Swift is that sole target. Once they get Tete, the rest is left up to just a coin flip. It doesn't really matter. We see Malphite taken twice in these games. Didn't really bode well in that one either. Still didn't get the ultimates that he was looking for. We've seen the roams from Dogman. It looked promising, but he couldn't get anything done compared to Red Honda again. And the solo lanes, RDG, they just look that much stronger.
They just have picked themselves good champions, good setups. And I don't know what EDE is doing. They're kind of doing weird picks. I'm not going to lie. They do the Malphite mid lane didn't quite work out. They did get the first roam, but it didn't result in anything. And meanwhile, every time Red Honda has been using the ultimate, it's been bombastic kills on the back line. I mean, damage through the roofs. Scoreline is accelerated here. 5-0-9, 14 KDA. So Red Honda really showing a carry performance in this one. Espresso has been solid in the jungle in both games 1 and 2. And now they've really put EDE into a corner. They've boxed them in successfully because, well, this is 2-0 for EDE. Rubber Ducky Gaming just need to sink one more in to make their way into the finals.
Squeaky bum time. That's what they call it.
Okay.
Squeaky. In order to actually get back into this game, though, it's a monumental task. For the majority of that game, emotional damage energy, they didn't look that bad. They looked like the Jinx was having a great game, I believe 4-0 at one point, and then all of a sudden, the combination between the Paranoia and the Shadow Surge, as soon as that Shadow Surge hit, lights out. And lights out were definite for Taylor Swift in that game every time it hit. But you already mentioned the damage charts. Let's take a look at them and kind of see where that damage came from. I mean, you want to talk to me about this, Scrims?
Yeah, Red Honda just multiple times getting in onto the backline Taylor Swift. Probably a significant portion of that damage bar, unfortunately. And then once Taylor Swift falls, the consistent damage pulling through. Vex does get outscaled, but this game didn't take that long. 21 minutes in, so Vex, Red Honda doing so much damage. Of course, Taylor Swift, whenever they were able to stuff the engage, was able to return fire, so showing that 7k right there. And Flame just beating up Jax on the top side all game. It's a hard matchup if the Jace knows what they're doing, and Flame looks very competent on that champion. So EDE showing up red 2 times in a row. Looks like they don't have an answer, and Rubber Ducky Gaming in 2 games with 2 different flavors have said we are going to shut down Taylor Swift.
Well, I mean, it's always not a good sign when Nautilus is doing more damage than your top and your jungler. Unfortunate circumstances are dictating that, but however, we need to see a bounce back. We need to see that Pally coming back into this one. We need to see that Machot we're so used to seeing. But again, they're up against it, man. Like, there's no understating the fact that they are the underdogs in the series. Like, Rubber Ducky Gaming, they've been phenomenal all season, but right now, this is it, EDE. You have to step up to the plate, be accounted for, and make sure you leave it all in the rift, and you're going to have to do that through draft once again. But guys, we're going to cut to a small break. When we come back, it might be the conclusion of this series. It might not. See you right after this. Conqueror fans, welcome back. Are you surprised to see Lamb and Crims? We're still here, baby. That's right. We're holding it down just for you. But Crims, this series is getting away from everybody, us included, because Rubber Ducky Gaming are not letting go. They're two to the good. They look really good in game one. They were off to a little bit hesitant start in game two, but they figured out the equation, kill Taylor Swift. The game's pretty much
The
over.
formula.
The formula, the
Yeah.
formula. Yeah. If they were plankton, then it's stolen back. Don't have it no more. Opening your own restaurant, kind of deal. So how do they fix it? How do they fix the mistake? In fact, I can let you in on a sneak peek, Crims. Don't pick the Malphite. Leave Malphite alone. Leave him at home. Get him out of here because The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is not doing a whole lot in these games.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where you're sending this Malphite. It is not working out for EDE. So we'll see if they have a new strategy with their top lane and solo. I mean, this is their solo lane picks in general here. Taylor Swift seems pretty dead set onto the Jinx. And I haven't seen a Yumi picked up once here. And I know that they've done that before. So, and I don't think it has to be Zeri Yumi. Yumi works on multiple champions. As Lamb's cracking a cheeky little smile. You're gonna inform me what you're talking about, what you're laughing about here?
All right, King Death, I'm looking at you. I said I don't want to see the Malphite. He says Mal first pick. All right, dude. That's
Okay,
it.
well,
the jig is up. It's up. That made me giggle. That's right.
I don't know. Might be a biased source here. So we'll see if ED is going to listen to him.
Unknown, unbeknownst. But we're into the picks and bans. In fact, ban it away. Let's just get rid of it completely. And for a Yumi hater, Crims, you certainly want to see that champion be picked up, huh?
I mean, I'm just recommending things. But I do not want to see Yumi. Get this champion out of my face.
Recommended. Let's get it right.
Yeah, I'm getting away my personal bias here for what would be good analysis. So there is that trade-off. Yumi would probably be a good first pick because you don't have to just default into this Nautilus matchup. And we'll see here as Xayah, same bans are coming through.
Yeah, Xayah taking away too safe a champion. And of course, like you already mentioned, Taylor Swift is taking that Jinx twice now, twice in a row. Hasn't looked that bad, but ultimately when there's a Nocturne and a Vex, it's just unplayable at that point. Xayah would be really good in that composition. It's banned away smartly. And the other interesting fact is now we have emotional damage energy on the blue side. So they're looking to prioritize a certain pick here. They will final ban the Jarvan, so we're not going to see that again. Highest run rate across solo queue. Still in the Vi is going to be taking away the last ban for RDG, but what do you prioritize here for EDE? Because this is a huge pick in the terms of this series, Crims. What's going to be locked in? Yumi. Oh, okay, baby.
Whoa, what is going on here? Just going to lock in a Yasuo Shirley. I mean, can be flexed. I mean, if you really want to say it's a triflex, but they're going to go ahead.
Oh, dear God, the Malphite's left up and Yasuo's here. Oh, God. Oh, dear God. The curse.
There's no way they're going to do it. Please,
I mean, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? Nautilus, Malphite, the next two picks. What do we think? I mean, they might take it. RDG, if they take the Nautilus here, it's pretty smart. Yeah, you got to take away the Nautilus. Okay. That's a free knockup for the Yasuo, so taking that one away leaves Malphite again for the pick. Are they going to take it here, Crims? I mean, it's cursed, but then it's not, and it pairs well with the Yasuo. How do you play this? Oh my God!
Oh, okay. They're gonna go Callista Rel.
Talk to me about that. Talk to me about that synergy.
Well, they have really good engage. Callista is basically one of those lane dominators. So finally, they say no more scaling in the bot lane. We're gonna take it to Vesper and Odaro. Now they have combo with this Yasuo. The Yasuo is so much out of left field. Okay, if you don't ban Renekton into Yasuo, this is what happens. It gets picked right up because, Lamb, this matchup is absolutely devastating. I'm talking about cataclysmic. Renekton completely smashes the Yasuo. So, EDE, they're going to have to figure out something, do some kind of trickery to make sure Yasuo is safe. Either get him out of that lane, send him somewhere else. I don't know. They got to figure it out right now.
Well, prioritizing the Yasuo, they obviously have prepared something spicy, and again, the Kalista can throw Rel in there, get an additional knockup plus the Rel. They're setting it up for the show, so it's nice to see them kind of change it up a little bit. It means that Taylor Swift's going to be on the Kalista. How good is Ren Stack's going to be? I got a sneaky feeling it's going to be pretty good. But again, going into Virus and Nautilus, there's so much lockdown potential that even if you throw the Rel in there, Kalista is still left to fend for ourselves as we just sail on by the second phase of the bans. And Malphite is banned away, so we will not see that knock-up coming into the game here. I'm a happy bunny. And they take away the Ornn as well. That's very smart. Call of the Forge can synergize really well. Again, with the Yasuo, there's so much hyper focus on the Yasuo, but when there's a Malzahar with a point and click to keep him in place, is that gonna go through here? If it is, RDG are drafting to stop this. Okay, Seraphim's gonna come in. That kind of fits the synergy of the composition a little bit better.
Okay, makes more sense. So are they sensing that this is a Renekton top lane? I don't know exactly what the plan is. They really should have picked jungle, because then they could have flexed things around, but they really want to save that espresso counter pick here. So now EDE, I mean, they could try to flex Yasuo into a different lane and get out of this Renekton matchup.
Smart. Oh, Zach, okay, to just continue with these knockups. They want to make sure every single champion can help out in that department, which means the team fights are going to be explosive. And of course, Flame on the Renekton, that's got to be frightening. He's definitely looked the better top laner in this series, going up against Pally. Pally looking to redeem himself, and the EDE team composition will reveal ourselves on this fifth and final pick to see if that Yasuo is going against the Renekton, which would be devastating for him, like you already mentioned. But they can rotate that Renekton to the same lane, and it looks like Gwen is going to be locked in here. So a champion that doesn't offer a knock-up, but it does offer a lot of true damage going through the game, and it scales incredibly well here too as well, Crims.
Yeah, the Gwen might be like a bit of bait for the Renekton, but it's certainly going to be good in dodging that Encore. Definitely doesn't want a bounce right onto his team, as Espresso is hovering this Master Yi lock-in. This is okay. All right.
That's a bait, dude.
The craziness comes to an end here, as I mean, Rubber Ducky Gaming, they have the Renekton Seraphine. They kind of got a brawl in the front line with the Seraphine Encore. Is going to do a lot of work. Unfortunately for them, Yasuo Windwall will put that to an end. And picking more melee champs into Rel is assisting EDE in their team comp here, because the Rel really likes those melees, get nice and grouped up and stun them all at once. And Zach, I'm just going to throw this out here. The Zach Yasuo engage is going to be pretty deadly, because if Zach ever hits Varus and Seraphine, RDG are just going to completely lose the team fight. Yasuo is going to get a free ult in the back line. Damage is going to come through. Gwen's probably just going to run right in there. And then Rel will get a massive CC on top of that. So I think they have to play very carefully on the side of RDG. They can win their lanes. Kalista is definitely a tough champion to win lane into. Oh, you know, I really wish they went with oh gosh, Renata. I think they should have went Kalista Renata. That would be so much better for their comp here. Fortunately, they go for the Rel. And now EDE. This is a pretty wacky draft. Yasuo's got to survive. They got to figure out how to do that.
Okay, all the eggs are not in the Taylor Swift basket this time around. Yasuo as a champion in this composition is drafting around the fact that you can knock up from pretty much anywhere, regardless of where you are in the map. And of course, Michelle getting the Zac here means he can come out of the fog of war, not necessarily be spotted. Elastic slingshot so valuable. Of course, you get a second attempt with that cell division passive as well. Zac is an incredibly strong jungler, but I mean, Yasuo, yeah, is heading into the top lane here. It looks like Dogman is going to be on the Gwen unless we see some switcheroos, but want to take your attention back to that top lane, Crims, right? We've seen Flame play phenomenal on the Olaf, and then last game, I believe he was on, remind me real quick, he, what did he take last game? Amnesia.
Jace, or is that what you're talking about?
Jace, yeah, the Jace.
Okay. Wow.
Individually.
That was like 20 minutes ago, Liam.
Yeah, how can I remember the first game anyway? That's a lamb problem. The fact that he is so good on these micro-intensive champions, I mean, the argument could be made that there's no micro with Olaf. You just throw an axe and then you chase them down to kill them. And if you don't, then you trade your life for it. By the way, the confidence... Anytime the Pally is low, there's no hesitation to dive him and kill him solo. Whether you give your life for that, as long as you get that wave into the turret, then you can make it even worse for that top laner of EDE. But he finds himself on a champion in the form of Yasuo, And like you already mentioned, he is taking on that Crocodilian in the top lane. Will we see some switcheroos? I got a feeling we do, because that matchup isn't going to fare well for him. But on the Yasuo, again, I'll come back to it. This is my point. I know I can run on for a long time, but Crims, he's giving himself the best chance, but how good is the Yasuo going to be? Is this the champion you want to see in the top lane for a game 3? This is their final.
I don't know. I feel like Pally's just in such a terrible spot. Belveth, Renekton, they're going to light him up. Unless Yasuo, I don't think he's going to have a very good game. I think the rest of the comp works a lot better. We'll see if, you know, Seraphine ends up getting huge encores in this game. But I just think the pressure's mounting on EDE. They don't really have a solid draft. This is not their style. I think I'm giving it to Rubber Ducky Gaming.
Okay, well, you're 1-1 for today, like myself.
I know.
So I'm gonna go and say that emotional damage energy. Okay, hypothetically, stick with me, folks. Hypothetically, in a world that revolves around Pally, that's Yasuo pops the hell off. Multiple engages. He gets big ultimates off. Pentakill on the horizon. It's going to take something special now along those lines. Maybe it's a fairy tale, but fairy tales will come true before, depending on if you're a conspiracy. It doesn't really matter. But for EDE in this case, there's no conspiracy theories. There's just one theory, and that's just win. It's not even a theory. It's a must. You can't leave anything to chance. And if they do want to make things happen, they have to make it happen very early on as well. The Zac is so good at the level 1. Level 1 I should say, even in the early game, not even the level 1. That elastic slingshot has so much value. Can you get down there into the bot lane? The Kalista Rel, if they get off to a good start, it'll spell really difficult things for the Nautilus. Sure, you can get the engage, but you can be disengaged by the Kalista ultimate. I've already had a prediction from you, Crims, but I want to see the flip side to that. So if EDE are to take this, whose basket are you putting all the eggs in? Because we see it time and time again, it's Taylor Swift, but with this draft composition, Dogman and Pally, they're back in the game.
Well, I mean, look, this is still Taylor Swift focused, Lamb. Just because it's not a scaling AD carry doesn't mean it's not Taylor Swift focused. It 100% is. Taylor Swift on this Kalista needs to control the bot lane. They need to win it, and they need to play ahead, which is something Taylor Swift does get on scaling champions. So we can see how you can do it on a champion designed to dominate in the lane. So Taylor Swift focus still. Michelle needs to get a better performance in these games, because that Zac engage is going to be oh so vital for that Yasuo follow-up. And so it's still Taylor Swift focus. It's going to be on the laning phase, and it is definitely an angle they could win through.
Okay, once again, Crims, excuse me, I got these guys to talk to. Hey, you, yes, you, watching Titan on a Wednesday night clip competition. It's still going on. God damn, you need to get involved in it. I mean, I think mine's is doing pretty well, Crims, have to be said. Whether I'm getting that flights included, all-inclusive holiday in Barbados, I don't know. We're hearing more and more information be leaked as the season goes on. There might be even more to that. Who knows? Sam's providing everything. The funding here in Titan is phenomenal. And of course, if you want to be right up there, your clip has to be up there in the views. And if you win that, then congratulations. Don't forget about Lamb and Crims. And the other thing is, once those predictions come in, get your bets in. Channel points is always a coin flip in the channel points department. You can be right or you can be wrong. Bankrupt like Lucan or balling like Lamb and Crims. But after this break, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for staying with us. We're going to see potentially the conclusion of the first semi-final in the Conqueror Leagues. It's EDE with it all to do. Game 3 right after this.